Hello, all you tiny, beautiful people that live in my computer. My name's Fynn, and welcome to Finn's Last Meal. I've been watching, I've been watching for a long time, but I've recently been binging the show Last Meals on the channel Mythical Kitchen, starring Chef Josh. All hail Chef Josh for being the absolute goat. And long story short, Josh and his team invite people on. They can be celebrities, YouTubers, an actor, whatever. And the person comes on and they are asked Hot Ones style, like deep questions while eating foods that they've picked out to be their last meal. And the tagline of the whole show is we all have two things in common. We all gotta eat and we're all gonna die. And I've been super into it. I've been watching since the one they did with Rhett from Good Mythical Morning. So I've been watching since then, but recently I've just binged through a bunch of them. And I was thinking, what would I have if I had like the basic 7 courses, if I could pick out everything through it? What would I want? So I've gone through and I have done that. To preface this is a list of food that I already know I like, or foods that are similar enough to things I've already eaten to where I'll know I like them. So it's not a super adventurous list. However, let's say 8 years from now I have a big enough following for Josh to even look at me. In that theoretical situation, I would give a lot more creative freedom, and I trust good cooks to make good food, so I would be more open to leaving more things up to the interpretations of the individuals involved, alongside maybe doing a course or two entirely blind and letting them decide that stuff for me to teach me something about food, because I fucking love food. I'm a foodie. If I at any point travel, like even just to other states in America, food is one of like the go-to things for me. I love food. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? Course 1. I don't know what the courses are called, by the way. So I'm just going to be calling them 1 through 7. I don't actually know what the words are. However, I have a faint idea of what each thing is. So for course 1, I have pigs in blankets. If you don't know what that is, I think that's a colloquial term. I don't think that's the actual name. They probably have a like more not weird name. Long story short, you would take a small sausage and you would put it into basically like a croissant. And that was pretty much the whole thing. I have a couple specified things, such as it being like a higher quality summer sausage, because I think summer sausage is the only good sausage. And also, the croissant needs to be buttery as fuck. It needs to be buttery as hell, and a little weird autism texture thing. I like it where the outside of it has the crunch, but the inside is still kind of like, not doughy. The inside is like the center of white bread, where it's like kind of squishy instead of chewy. I think that's the good inside of a croissant, while the outside should be a little bit crunchy. There's a little bit of lore behind this one. So growing up, my family made this not hyper often, but it was like I don't think I've had a year of my life without it. And I distinctly remember my Uncle Matt, one time, at this point I'm 14, maybe 15, I don't know the math. How old was I 5 years ago, 6 years ago? 5 years ago? I would have been, 14. He made that at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning. Meanwhile, all of the kids in the house are asleep, and the other adults in the house are asleep getting ready for work and all that. And he wakes up early, he makes this, and he makes sure it's ready and stuff before everybody wakes up. And at this point, he was battling cancer. I believe at that time it was one specific cancer. Later on, he would be battling multiple. And at that point, he had lost like the use of his eye, and his body was shutting down. But he was still doing small stuff like that as a way of giving to the family and giving to me and my cousins and my aunts and uncles and all that. And no matter what negativity I have about individuals throughout my family, Matt was somebody who I looked up to, somebody who I strive to be like even now, and somebody who I miss dearly. If I were to be asked who my heroes are, like in the world, if I had to hone in on one who like was a very personal experience for me, it was him. So as a way of showing my love and respect for him, I kind of have to put that on there, as he was the closest thing to like a father that I had growing up, because my dad was in and out of jail, in and out of prison, off and on drugs, all that. And at his worst, Matt was still the best like male presence in my life. So there's that. And then the drink of choice for this would be a Borden chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk. I grew up drinking a lot of like, is it Highland or Hilland? I feel like it's Highland. Like just basic chocolate milk brands, and then like most of the time it would be like the basic Walmart brand. But when I was in, I think the 10th grade, I went to this gas station that at the time was a Valero. Now I believe it's a Circle K. And I was like, I'm getting a chocolate milk. And they didn't have any of like the ones that are normally there, but they did have one that was Borden German chocolate. And I got it, and I drank it, and it was maybe the actual best flavor that I've ever had touch my tongue. I loved it so, so, so very much. It was so goddamn good. I think it was the best flavor experience I've ever had. So I wanted to fit that in there somewhere, and I couldn't think of a better place for it. So fuck it, why not? Chocolate milk feels like a breakfasty thing, and that's how I always remember the like sausage and croissant thing. I always remember that as like a breakfast situation. On to course two, baby. Course two. I think, and listen, I'm not a chef. I'm not a connoisseur. I don't know things, but I while doing the light bit of research I did, it seems like of the like 7 courses, course 2 is typically like a soupy thing. So I went with tomato soup and grilled cheese. Now listen, specifies for the grilled cheese, it needs to be Colby Jack and mozzarella together. Colby Jack's my favorite cheese, and paired with mozzarella, it's like fucking goated. And then I like heavily buttered bread for my grilled cheeses. Also, it needs to be cut in triangles. Just has to be. Sorry, it just has to be cut in triangles. And then white versus wheat bread. I like both, so I don't really mind. I think a grilled cheese is typically better with wheat bread, but whatever, you know. If Chef Josh can blow my tits off with some white bread, I'll take it. And then a bit of lore to go with that. In intermediate and middle school, they had really shitty tomato soup that came in like a paper bowl, and it was just tomato paste. It was just liquid tomato and nothing in it. There was no like, there was nothing in this fucking tomato paste. And then just a basic grilled cheese, had like a slice of America and 2 white pieces of bread put together, and it wasn't actually grilled cheese. It was toast, cheese that wasn't melted, and then you would just dip it in your tomato soup. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This tastes great. And then when I was like 13 or something, maybe 14, I had real tomato soup, and I was like, whoa, that's way fucking better than that shit. And then I had real grilled cheese that wasn't just like a slice of American. It was like throwing some Colby Jack, maybe a little bit of pepper jack if you want some spice in your life, a little bit of mozzarella, you know. And I thought that was fucking dope. For a drink, I think grilled cheese is like a very specific flavor that you don't want to like mess with while it's in your gullet. So I'd be drinking water with grilled cheese, because I think other flavors interrupt real nasty with it. And also the tomato soup is mostly liquid, so like it's kind of like, I'm not gonna sit there and chug it or nothing, but like it's pretty much a drink. And that's course 2 for you. It's course 2, gamers. Course 2. Course 3, baby. I went with a ham and cheese slider. Specifically, I would eat like 4 of them bitties. I'm just saying. Um, I'm talking honey ham. I'm talking white cheddar. I'm telling you, you go and you get the specific rolls from Colton's Steakhouse. You lather them bitches in some. I wrote it down right. Yeah, you lather them bitches in some garlic. All right, lather that bitch in some garlic. And there's a little bit of lore. Growing up, there was always one thing during Thanksgiving that I cared about, just the one, and it was these sliders my grandma would make. It'd be a Hawaiian roll, just basic honey ham, straight out to like deli aisle at Walmart, and then some basic American cheese. And that shit was good, but what if it had more fire ingredients? You know what I'm saying? And that shit I just know it would smack. I just know it would fucking bang. And then for a drink for that specifically, I would want a whiskey glass with cherry Pepsi with ice. With ice. To wash it down. The lore there is that I love cherry Pepsi and I fuck with whiskey glasses heavy. Currently, I don't own any. When I get paid next, I'll probably get some. But I fucking love drinking out of whiskey glasses. It's very nice. It feels somewhat like aesthetically pleasing to me for some reason. So that's how I feel about that. That's just how I feel about that. Course 3 was kind of easy. Now let's get to something that's a little bit more experimental. Course 4 is an authentic Mexican bean salad. So, bit of lore. I love Mexican food. Mexican food is my favorite shit in the world. Tex-Mex is good, like Taco Bell and shit. It's like, that's good. But like authentic Mexican, that shit fucks. One of like my favorite food memories is from like middle of last year when my mother and I stopped at a Mexican place outside of where I grew up, and we just ate while talking, and it was just us. There was no like worries, there was no rush. We were just talking and eating, and that shit was amazing. And I love Mexican food. It's probably like if I could have a chef prepare me like 4 dishes from any place of my choosing, I'm choosing some like I'm choosing an area below America. Let me tell you something. If I can trust anybody with a salad, it's my Southern American soulmates. You know what I'm saying? It's the people that is working down below. Like fuck. Also, I fell in love with Mexican food a lot more in my first year of high school because of my Spanish teacher bringing Spanish snacks, Spanish foods. Right before Thanksgiving and right before Christmas, she like set up a little thing in class where we all like tried her like homemade salsa and her fucking queso, and we made like tacos and we all brought snacks. Like we just had a big party. And since then, I've had like this big, like loving, nostalgic and positive feeling towards Mexican food. And any 7-course meal has to have a salad in there. And I'm not a huge salad person. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big salad fan. However, if I can trust somebody to make a salad, it's the Spanish. I don't know what to tell you. And then I think Mexican food is best served with a lightly sweetened tea, not like Southern sweet tea. If you've ever had Southern sweet tea, you know that they make that shit 9/10 sugar, 1/10 tea. I prefer light sweetening. Damn. So I prefer like a nice, cold, iced, lightly sweetened green tea. That shit bucks, and I think it fits with Mexican food like perfectly. It has enough flavor to add to the meal, but not enough to overpower anything that like is going on. Like for example, if like Code Red is my favorite drink. There's some in that cup right there. If I'm drinking Code Red and eat Mexican food, the Code Red is fucking with the Mexican food. Or like Monster Energy. If I'm chugging a Monster, I don't want to be like eating a donut. Like that's a fucked up combo. Whereas tea is something that like fits well with like an actual like meal. Like it can't overpower anything, especially if it's lightly sweetened. So that's my course 4, baby y'all. Moving on to course 5. This is written in all caps because I felt really passionately about this. Chicago style pizza, OMFG, please. On a realistic level, Chicago pizza is genuinely my dream food. Also, I prefer my pizza just cheese, so don't be putting weird shit on my pizza. I really want Chicago pizza. I haven't had it yet. Sadness. I fucking love I love pizza. I'm a pizza person. I fucks with pizza. 2 days after I moved up here, I got pizza from a place that's not too far away, and that shit fucked. I love pizza. I love different pizza. My stepmom used to make homemade pizza, and that shit fucked. I had to eat it with a fork because I'm a freak. But I love pizza, and I love different pizzas. I love like mini pizzas. I love giant pizzas. I like it cut square, circle, triangle. I fuck with pizza. And Chicago style pizza, that shit looks heavenly. The cheese is under the sauce. The cheese is under the sauce. It's from Chicago. Dude, I know for a fact that shit fucks. And I want some so very fucking bad. The drink to go with the Chicago pizza is Mountain Dew Code Red. In all caps, for the lore, my literal favorite drink. Mountain Dew Code Red fucks. I'm getting a sip right now. That's that Red 40 in me. That's that Red 40. You can tell I'm American. Code Red's just my favorite. It's just my favorite drink. Mountain Dew Code Red is just my favorite fucking drink. I don't know what to say. And then, also, I think pizza and soda are like a good mix because they're both really strong flavors and really unhealthy. However, pizza doesn't have to be unhealthy. But I think that combo goes well together. And it feels like hanging out with the boys in, like, middle school, playing, like, COD Zombies while you down in soda and eating pizza. Like, it feels comforting in a way. And then part 2, because I didn't want to add an extra course because it felt weird. The 7 sounds right. But also, I wanted both of these, so I just said, fuck it. They count as one. Kill yourself. Don't actually ever do that. That's really bad. And you should practice taking care of yourself. Yeah. And then part 2, baby, with 3 exclamation points. Grilled chicken. No bones. I don't be picking my food off the bone. I don't fuck with bones. Fuck you and your bones. But grilled chicken cut into 1/4 inch slices. Just cut into 1/4 inches. And then the sauce is a very specific barbecue. I don't know the brand. I can probably figure it out. Hold up. I'll be right back. I found the barbecue that I was looking for. It is the Kinder's Black Cherry Chipotle. That shit is insane. But that's what I'd want on this theoretical grilled chicken. Also, to go with the grilled chicken, because I think chicken by itself is an L, you get the grilled chicken, and then you get this spoon of mashed potatoes, and then what you do to make it where the mashed potatoes ain't pussy mode is you put just a little bit of like liquid cheese on the top, and it kind of like goes into it. It either lathers the potato, or it like drips down into the middle. Either way, it fucks. Try cheesy potato. If you've never eaten a cheesy potato, let me put you on. Eat that shit. Oh my god. There isn't lore. I just fuck up some grilled chicken and potato is heaven. That's what it says. And then I wouldn't have a second drink for the chicken and stuff. I just keep... In all caps, still Code Red, baby. Oh my god, Code Red. I love that fucking shit. Oh my god. On to course 6, baby. It's time. So, it's the dessert round. It's time for the shit that might kill you. So, I would want a light chocolate cheesecake. Let me get into that real quick. So, I love cheesecake. Cheesecake fucks. It just does. I don't care what you say. If you're a cheesecake hater, get out. Go away. Go away. Go away. Cheesecake is fire. However, people be making cheesecake that's way too dense. When you bite into cheesecake, that shit your teeth should go straight through it. There should be no, like, force needed at all. And people be making them heavy-ass cheesecakes. Light cheesecake. If I have a piece of cheesecake, my tongue should be able to go through it. Not like liquid or anything crazy, but, like, it should be light and, like, it should be malleable enough. I don't know the word. It should be possible for me to, like, take my finger and push all the way through that without pressure. And chocolate, because I think chocolate cheesecake's your best cheesecake, but not like the thing where okay. Some people be getting chocolate cheesecake, and what they do is they take a cheesecake and they make it all chocolate, and it's not cheesecake anymore. That's not what I want. I want it to be cheesecake with a hint of chocolate. That's all. The best way I've seen that done, I don't know what brand it was because I didn't pay for it. It was a cheesecake where the bottom layer was regular old yellow cheesecake, and then the top was a thin layer of chocolate. Like, let's say the yellow was like an inch, the chocolate was like a half inch, or whatever. Like, you know, that's probably not accurate to how tall it was or whatever, but you get my point. Light bits of not chocolate cake, chocolate cheesecake. And then what you do is you have your chocolate cheesecake, and instead of eating that by itself, you buy a cookie cake. Or make one if you can. Cookie cake, the right size to put on top, and then you cut it. So then you've got a cheesecake cookie cake. Double the fucking cake. Not much lore. I just really like cheesecake and cookie cake, and I couldn't decide. So both. And then another Borden chocolate milk. Because what else am I going to have with my cheesecake and cookie cake? Like, what else should I possibly put with that? Come on. And also, another drink that goes with it is a peanut butter milkshake from Sonic. Not by itself. You got to beat that motherfucker. You gotta take that cup and you gotta shake the fuck out of it, move your straw through there, you gotta fuck it up. And this one is a guilty pleasure. This is guilty. Bring me a strawberry Uncrustable. I know. It'll kill you. If you eat one, you'll die. You get diabetes. You take one bite, your cholesterol, gone. Like that motherfucker. But put one in there. Come on, just let me have one. It's my last meal. I can eat whatever I want. And then moving on to the final course, baby. Final course. I don't know how you say this word. One moment. I said one moment. You gonna pause? I believe the pronunciation. The pronunciation is Luqaimata. So. It's spelled Luqaimat. It's Turkish, I believe. That could be wrong. Don't flame me if that's incorrect. I don't have it written down. I'm pretty sure it's Turkish. It's somewhere in that area, but I believe it's Turkey. It's I don't want to be disrespectful towards the culture or anything by saying that it's just this thing, but the most like widespread thing I can say that it's like is like a donut, or if you've ever had like a donut hole, it's sort of that thing, and they are heaven. I really fuck with like pastries, donuts, like the fucking, what are they called, like Long Johns or whatever the fuck. I fuck with like pastry sweets. However, when I eat 7 full donuts, I feel like a fat piece of shit. However, if I eat 10, it's Luqaimata, right? I don't know. I feel bad saying the word, not knowing how. Everything I looked up is just written, and I can't find any pronunciation thing. But it's itty bitty. they're itty bitty, and it's basically like the same thing, except that would probably taste way better because it's not like completely artificially flavored and shit. A lot of donuts are just artificial flavorings. I feel like Lucamaya would be like a much more pure joy flavor. So there's that, and then weird combo, weird hot take of mine, pastry plus fruit punch. Like if I'm eating a croissant, I don't drink alcohol, so like I can't have like wine in a croissant, but I can have like some Hawaiian punch, you know. Like, or if I'm eating a donut, I don't want to drink like soda. I feel like that's like weird. So like my brain's like, oh, I should be drinking like Kool-Aid or like a fucking Capri Sun, something like a fruity drink. Apple juice. Apple juice is a shout, actually. I fucks with apple juice. Do make you have to go to the bathroom, but that shit fucks. So the drink of choice to go with the Lucamaya would be, I still hope I'm saying it right, would be like a fruit punch, like a berry drink, maybe like a smoothie. I feel like a good smoothie could fuck. Like apple juice or like just something like that, some like fruity thing. I think fruit plus pastry is so that's my core 7. Now that's stuff that I know I'd be comfortable eating, right? That's stuff that I know for a fact I could fuck up. Stuff I know for a fact I would eat. Stuff I know for a fact that I can eat, like allergy wise and such. However, if Chef Josh invited me, what I'd probably do is expect, and not expect in like a way where I'm expecting something in return for whatever the fuck, but I would much prefer to give him and his team the freedom to pick some stuff out and teach me. I love food. I love learning about food, where food's from, how it's made, what makes it different, what different cultures do to the same food. Like, for example, like a soft shell taco used to be taco. You didn't have to specify. And then whenever hard shell tacos were made, that's when like the soft versus hard thing happened. And learning that, I learned that through Chef Josh, actually, in the episode with Matt Pat. So like learning stuff about food is super fucking cool. So like I'd probably do like one main food that's something I'm really like, I know for a fact I love, and then one dessert thing I really love, and then give like an allergy list so I don't die, and then give give like an idea to the team of like, hey, I would like to learn about this and this and this. So dig down deep and figure out something that will blow me away. For example, I really want to try Indian food. I've never had the ability. I've never lived in an area with like an Indian place. And my only Indian friend is however far away India is. So I don't have like that experience, but I would like to try it. So like that's something I'd put as like, hey, I would like to try like an authentic curry, or I would like to try, well, like whatever, like a beverage that's like specifically from there. Or it's like, I always hear about British food, and I would like to learn like what a proper British like dish is, that sort of thing. Or I grew up in the South, and I didn't have a whole lot of food that was like Southern only. Like I can't think of many things that I've eaten that other places don't have. And I'd be like, hey, could you find something that is based out of Arkansas or whatever that is special that you don't think other places either have or don't have the same version of? And like that would give me like some like weird home feeling. Or for a dessert, like bring me something that I could say like a food that I notoriously do not enjoy eating, and be like, could you do something with this to make it like a snackable thing? Or like be like, hey, I really love like grilled chicken, but I'm a basic bitch. I always just do basic grilled chicken as a barbecue. Could you take the grilled chicken idea and do something crazy with it and make it something I've never had before? Stuff like that. And I think that's really, if you truly love food, I feel like you want to learn about food and you want to experience it in a way that isn't just, oh, well, I've had this before, therefore I'm going to get it again. Because there's some stuff that like I want to try. So I think that'd be really fun. I Before I get absolutely fucking flamed for expressing my feelings toward the show and like what if I was on it, I am not arrogant enough to think that I deserve to be, nor do I ever think that I will be big enough on YouTube, much less in anything, for that sort of recognition. And that was not my point at all. I just thought it would be fun to express. I thought it would be fun to express my feelings towards food and my gratitude and my happiness towards the show, alongside expressing how much I would like to learn about food and some food that I just thought it would be neat to let you guys know I like, stuff like that. So yeah, there's that. There is a 0.00000000000325 chance that Josh sees this in the lifetime that we're both in currently, and in that parallel universe, hi, you're amazing. I love you. In a somewhat parasocial way, which is kind of weird, because that's how the internet works, and 99% of the relationships on it don't actually work as relationships, which is entirely weird and freaks me out as a growing channel. Oh my god, I'm scared. But yeah, thank you for your time, you crazy man. And to all of you who have stuck by my side up to this point and who watch these videos, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your support. And if you made it this far, comment your last meal. Comment your last meal. And what you thought of my meal. Bye-bye.